Breaking: Britain is no longer dealing with protests or politics. Tonight, the crisis turned physical. Multiple cities now report wild loot crews, fast, organized groups masked and ruthless, emptying supermarkets and electronic stores in minutes, slipping through police lines like ghosts. This isn't petty crime. This is panic-driven opportunism spreading like plague. Security cameras show crowds smashing windows, raiding shelves, passing goods down human chains as alarms scream across darkened streets. Police overwhelmed, shops barricading doors with metal shutters, shoppers fleeing with kids clutched tight as mobs run in like wolves. From Birmingham to Bristol, Glasgow to Croydon, British streets are cracking, and Prime Minister Starmer. He addresses the nation in trembling tone, forced to confront a truth no leader wants to speak. We are losing order faster than we can restore it. Stay, because this is no longer unrest, this is survival. Chaos didn't begin with shouting, it began with silence, shops closing early, alarms armed, managers texting staff, "Do not come in tomorrow, unsafe." It was only 5:40 p.m. in Manchester when the first crew arrived, 15 masked individuals moving with military rhythm. Not protesters, not starving families. Loot specialists. 1 smashed window, 2 inside, 5 forming perimeter, 8 hauling goods into cars that vanished before police even responded. 30 seconds, and a store that took decades to build was stripped bare. And then someone filmed it. The video hit TikTok like gunpowder on flame. Within an hour, mobile phone with arrow 12.4 million views, mobile phone with arrow 620,000 shares, mobile phone with arrow Discord groups forming roots, mobile phone with arrow Telegram channels posting target lists, looting turned trend. Trend turned movement, movement turned national threat. 6:20 p.m., Second City FALLS Birmingham Retail District, doors smashed with fire extinguishers. Groups pouring out carrying TVs, phones, consoles, even fridges rolling on skateboards. Shoppers fled screaming, an older man knocked to the ground protecting his daughter. A worker locked inside stockroom cried on livestream, "We are trapped, police haven't come." There was no hate in her voice, only fear. 6:55 p.m. Police outnumbered, dispatch calls flooded command. 30 people breaking in, 40 on High Street, warehouse breach, send units now. "We can't cover all locations," one officer whispered off mic. This is like chasing shadows with bare hands. Because crowds weren't random, they were coordinating like swarms. Hit, vanish, reappear miles away. 7:30 p.m. London ignites, Oxford Street shutters rattled like drums as dozens kicked them in unison. Screams, glass rain, footage of youths sprinting with armfuls of designer bags. Security couldn't stop them, police too thin. Merchants stood helpless behind metal bars as stores emptied like lungs sucking last air. A BBC reporter ducked from flying glass. This is not protest, this is something else, something feral. Word feral trended instantly. 8:05 p.m, panic buying begins. London shoppers rushed inside before closures. Canned goods vanishing in minutes, people grabbing bread in armfuls. Milk aisles barren, baby formula aisle devastated. Panic spreads faster than crime. Fear is contagious. An elderly woman crying near empty shelves said on camera, "In all my life I've never seen Britain like this." 8:40 p.m. Starmer's first emergency briefing inside No 10, tension like a military bunker. Screens showing live looting in 8 cities. Home Secretary pale, "We are losing retail zones." Police chief voice tight. "If this spreads overnight, we lose supply chains by morning." Starmer slams palm on table, not angry, desperate. "Call in reinforcements." Curfew options, Attorney General hesitates. "Curfew means civil emergency powers, Parliament will rebel." Starmer whispers, "Parliament is already rebelling." 9:02 p.m, loot wave number 2 as government debates, streets answer. Round Pushbin Glasgow electronics store emptied. Round Pushbin Bristol sports warehouse raided. Round Pushbin Leeds supermarkets stripped. Round Pushbin Croydon shopping centre breached. Videos show looters laughing, filming themselves like influencers in apocalypse. A man live streaming with stolen TV strapped to his back says, "Government's busy talking, we're busy taking." Clip hits 3 million views in 10 minutes. Rule of crowd psychology, lawlessness spreads fastest when filmed. 9:45 p.m, Britain splits, online rage divides into 2 storms. Storm A, fear and protection arm the shops. Call the army, protect our streets. Storm B, opportunity and collapse, chasing lists of unguarded stores, posted crypto for goods groups forming stolen phones sold live via DM, order versus opportunism. Morality versus adrenaline, nation torn between self-defense and self-grab. 10:20 p.m, police finally engage riot vans roll, shields up, batons drawn. Confrontations spark, scuffles on Liverpool Street, standoff in Newcastle, pepper spray in Cardiff. A 19-year-old screams while dragged, "We're taking what's ours because nothing's left for us." This isn't greed alone. It is resentment born of crisis, and resentment is fuel. 10:45 p.m, Starmer addresses the nation live broadcast, voice trembling but determined, looting is not protest. It is a crime against your own communities. We will not lose control of Britain. But as he speaks, sirens wail behind reporters outside, flames rise from a Tesco in Sheffield. Reality undercuts rhetoric. Confidence falls like stone. 11:30 p.m, something terrifying, EMERGS Telegram screenshot leaks, group titled, Night 2, bigger targets lists include distribution warehouses, pharmacies, fuel stations, electronics depots, food transport hubs. If those fall, Britain loses more than goods. Britain loses infrastructure. Supply, stability, tonight was stores. Tomorrow could be survival chain. Midnight, Britain is awake, not peacefully but like a house, hearing footsteps downstairs, shutters locked, lights off, people whispering through curtains. Police sirens slice the night like warning calls in a jungle. Loot crews aren't dispersing, they're multiplying. Telegram channels flood with new posts. Warehouse drop in Slough, 1:30 am, pharmacy run in Nottingham, bring bags. Fuel depot easy. Minimal guards. This isn't chaos anymore, it's organized scavenging, predators moving fast, and authorities moving slower. 12:40 am, first warehouse falls, Slough Food Distribution Centre, raided by nearly 200 people. Security powerless, police arrive late, outnumbered 5-1, forklifts driven through loading bays, people passing crates of baby food and medicine like wartime ration lines. One guard beaten trying to stop a truck. He whispers through swollen lip to ITV, "I've worked here 27 years, I've never seen Britain like this." 1:10 am, fuel panic ignites Birmingham petrol station, stormed, pumps vandalized, queues stretching half a mile. People beating windows demanding staff unlock pumps. A man holding jerry can screams, "They're raiding supermarkets, fuel is next." Cars honk, shouts, pushes, employees trigger lockdown, gates slam shut. This clip goes viral instantly, and like oxygen to fire, panic spreads. Within 45 minutes, 30-plus stations across UK report stampedes. Fear fuels behaviour faster than fuel fills tanks. 1:40 am. SDAIMER calls emergency cabinet meeting inside No 10, faces white under fluorescent light. No time for speeches, no patience for politics. Home Secretary, we need curfew by morning. Treasury. Curfew means billions lost. Foreign Policy Advisor, no curfew means order lost. Starmer looks up, eyes ringed by exhaustion. Choose which Britain we wake up to. A heavy sentence because both Britons are terrifying. 2:05 am, Parliament summons, 80 dawn messages fly across MP chat groups. 7 am, sitting, no excuses. We vote emergency powers or leadership. Country needs control. Now, this isn't internal debate. It's an ultimatum. Starmer must announce action or Parliament may replace him. A government hanging by one thread, and outside the city continues to unravel. 2:30 am. Glasgow EIUPTS clothing megastore stormed, lights smashed, mannequins thrown like bodies. Police push in, flares explode, smoke burns. Shouting, screaming, stampede, officers retreat, regroup, charge again. People arrested, dozens, but dozens more escape with bags. A teenage girl live streams laughing, covered in jewelry. It's the purge out here. The word purge trends instantly worldwide. Tourists horrified, parents terrified. Government humiliated. 3:00 am, counter-movement rises, communities begin forming civil defender groups. Volunteers protecting shops, standing outside businesses with baseball bats and kitchen pans. Not criminals, citizens. A father in Leeds stands outside corner store holding broom handle. If police can't protect us, we protect ourselves. Neighborhoods cheering, some crying with relief, others warning. Vigilantes cause escalation. Two Britons forming, protectors versus opportunists. Police now face 3 fronts. Looters, protectors, fear itself. No plan covers all 3. 3:35 am. The video that shatters sleep. A video from Liverpool drops like an earthquake. Dozens of masked looters raid a pharmacy, rushing past elderly man in doorway who begs, "Please, I need insulin." No pause, no mercy. He collapses crying. The clip hits hearts like knives. Overnight, chart increasing 24 million views, chart increasing 1.2 million shares, chart increasing 800,000 comments. Where is leadership? Morality breaks, empathy cracks, fear becomes rage. 4 o'clock am, Starmer SBAKS again and fails again. He addresses press in emergency statement. We condemn looting. We will restore order swiftly. We advise citizens to remain at home. But Britain doesn't need condemnation, it needs control. Reporters ask, will you deploy the military? Yes or no? Will you declare curfew? Why did you wait? He gives answers long, technical, cautious. Comments erupt, too soft. He talks, streets burn. We need action, not politeness. Confidence drops like a stone. 5:15 am, police issue critical alert. Metropolitan Police Commander briefing leaked. If looting continues at sunrise, we lose retail stability. If fuel hits panic, we lose transport stability. If food depots fall, we lose society stability. 3 dominoes. 1 already gone, 2 shaking violently. 6 o'clock am, the sun rises on a different country. Looters exhausted but emboldened. Communities fractured, shops empty, shelves bare, fuel queues miles long. Aerial footage shows Britain like after a disaster movie, but no disaster, just societal overload. Dawn light exposes broken glass glittering like frost. Store alarms still screaming into empty streets. The morning news headline, Britain WAKES to empty shops. And beside it, PM on last hours of control. Because in 1 hour Parliament sits, in 2 demands escalate. In 3 Britain could see curfews, military deployment or leadership collapse. Night was chaos, morning will be judgment. 7 o'clock am, Parliament doors slam open like gates to a fortress under siege. MPs pour in half awake, ties crooked, jackets slung over shoulders, coffee shaking in hands. Phones buzzing non-stop. Screens glowing red with overnight footage of chaos, glass, flames, looters sprinting with goods like trophies. Security whispers, they've never arrived this early, ever, because this isn't a session, it's a judgment. Starmer stands outside the chamber doors alone for a moment, exhaling like a boxer before round 3. He knows everyone inside is waiting either for a plan or a replacement. He enters, chamber goes dead quiet, then boom. Opposition rises instantly. Prime Minister, do you understand Britain is losing control of its streets? Shouts. Orders for calm, chaos inside mirroring chaos outside. Speaker slams gavel. Order, this is an emergency sitting. But order is the one thing Britain no longer has. 7:15 am. The ultimatum leader of opposition steps forward, voice like steel. We want immediate curfew, military assistance on streets, and national protection of supply depots. If you refuse, we move for a confidence vote. Gasps echo, government side unsettled, some nodding, some pale. One Labour MP mutters, unaware microphone is live. Maybe he's not capable of handling this anymore. Those words hit the chamber like a grenade. Cameras catch Starmer's reaction, frozen for half a breath. He raises voice. A curfew risks escalation. The military is not a first response. Opposition fires back. The streets are escalation. Benches erupt. The speaker loses control of the room entirely. 7:40 am. A vote forming in SHADOWS. Private WhatsApp leaks show rebel MPs circulating message. If looting continues past midday, submit letters. 30 MPs ready. Need 48, push him. Starmer sees phones lighting around him like falling dominoes. Government is not behind him, it's around him, waiting. 8 o'clock am. Outside, the streets move first while Parliament argues, the country acts. Doncaster, Wolverhampton, Plymouth. Through morning fog, new loot crews appear again, smaller, faster, more reckless. Shops already ravaged, yet they return like predators, no longer hunting goods, but dominance. But this time, they are not alone. Community defenders wait, mothers and fathers in high-vis jackets, shopkeepers armed with broomsticks. Local gyms sending volunteers to guard pharmacies. 2 sides meet on a narrow street near a closed Tesco. One looter tosses a brick, defender swings a bat to block. A clash explodes, not planned but inevitable, screams, shoving. Bodies fall, police rush in, but they're outnumbered by both sides. This is no longer crime, it's civil confrontation. 8:45 PM receives the call he feared. A Home Office official rushes into Parliament chamber mid-debate and whispers in Starmer's ear. His face drains of colour. The message leaks seconds later. Loudspeaker loot crews now targeting NHS medical supply vans. Loudspeaker insulin and antibiotics stolen. Loudspeaker lives now at risk. This isn't property loss anymore. This is life-threatening breakdown. Opposition leader stands slow and deadly. Prime Minister, act now or step aside. Parliament cheers, a sound like judgment. 9:10 a.m. The decision moment. Starmer returns to podium, shaking but resolute. I will request military support for logistical protection. Police retain frontline authority. Curfew remains under review pending afternoon developments. Too soft for one side, too heavy for the other. He tried middle ground, but Britain no longer lives in the middle. Opposition rises again. We trigger a formal confidence consultation. Clapping, shouting, papers slamming. The chamber becomes battlefield. Government benches divided like torn fabric. Some chant support, some stare downward. Some quietly text, almost certainly letters. 9:30 a.m. Army prepares in silence. Footage leaks from Ministry of Defense. Soldiers loading trucks. Armored units warming engines. Rations stacked, shields distributed. No deployment order yet, but preparation is itself a message. A general whispers to press, if order snaps again by sundown we move. History books open pages when generals speak like that. 10 o'clock m. A new force enters Royal Press Office, issues subtle yet seismic line. Loudspeaker, His Majesty has been briefed hourly. The Crown encourages stability, unity and decisive leadership in this moment. Interpretation online splits instantly. Half hear pressure on PM to act. Half hear signal that leadership may shift if he fails. Number royalized trends worldwide. The crisis has left politics, it has entered institution. 10:30 a.m. The clip that breaks the internet TV broadcast shows elderly man sitting on broken pavement outside looted pharmacy, shaking, holding empty insulin box. They took everything. I just need medicine. Millions watch heartbroken. Anger transforms into something heavier, fear for loved ones, fear for supply, fear that society itself is thinning. Hashtag trends, number this is not Britain. 11 o'clock m. A vote brews while shopping. CART's turn to Shield's new confrontation erupts in Bristol, defenders forming human chain around supermarket entrance. Looters push, defenders hold, tension like wire stretching to breaking point. Police arrive late not because unwilling but spread too thin to be everywhere. Someone throws firework, flash, scream, chaos. NHS nurse shields elderly woman with her body. Teenager looter falls bleeding from broken glass. Both sides sobbing in shock. Lines between criminal and desperate blur. Good and bad bleed into grey. The country is cracking in real time. Noon, the final warning. Parliamentary clerk announces. Vote of confidence procedure to open if emergency control stabilisation not confirmed by 6 p.m. 6 hours. That's all. If order returns, Starmer survives. If chaos continues, his government ends. Britain checks phones like oxygen monitors. Everyone waiting for one thing. Does the second night bring order or collapse? No answers, only countdown. And now Britain stands on the edge, breath held, fists clenched, shop windows shattered and streets still trembling. Parliament has drawn its line. The Prime Minister has 6 hours, only 6, to restore control. If he succeeds, order returns. If he fails, we could witness a sitting government fall live in front of the world. Will the army roll out by nightfall? Will Parliament trigger the vote that ends Starmer's leadership? Will communities protect themselves, or will Britain fracture even deeper? Tell us in the comments what happens next. Does Britain calm, or does night 2 burn hotter than the first? Share this now so more people see how close the nation is to a breaking point. Follow, because the next update won't arrive slowly.